Hey everybody, happy Friday. Thanks for joining us here on Northern Life. So Hunter and I were going on a shoot earlier today. You can actually get a sneak peek of that. We posted to our social media. It's an awesome video. So we have to walk outside the door, obviously, to get to our van to go on this shoot, and the story's already too long. But Hunter is parked in the main lot at our building, and in the back of his truck, he tells me he has to make a run to the dump. And lo and behold, I think I smelled your truck before I even saw what was in the back of your truck. Hunter casually bringing a lot of, I'm going to say nefarious items, but nefarious items to the workplace.
You know, it's just one of those weekends where we cleaned out a ton of stuff out of the old cabin, and unfortunately a lot of it's beer. and it stays out in the porch where it gets cold, things freeze, things burst, and so I brought it all up to my truck, and I'm like, I'm going to make a dump run at some point. Well, the dump doesn't open until Wednesday, so it's going to stay in the back of my truck until Wednesday, unfortunately, but my dad just got in my truck over the weekend. He's like, every time I get in the truck, I start thinking about the Sanford and Son theme song. He's like, we're going to the dump every single week or something like that. But it was a horrible smell in the back.
If anybody's walking by that truck, do not grab any of those items.
No.
Because they have burst. They're not good.
They are not good at all. Yeah. Although you would help me clean out the back of my truck.
That is true.
Feel free to take it and then throw it away somewhere.
Wouldn't have to run to the dump. We do have a dumpster downstairs, but you probably shouldn't throw those.
I should ask Todd. I wonder if he'd let me.
Probably would not be. Probably a no-go. Hey, but how about this? We got a great show coming up today. That is because we'll be spending the day with our awesome sports director, Daniel Chiarelli. On a sad note, Daniel will be leaving Northern News Now after his final show coming up this Monday. So we'll be talking about his time here. We'll talk about his favorite moments covering sports and what it meant to him to become a true Northlander by way of South Florida.
That's so true. And what you see is one of those guys. What you see on TV is who he is in real life. Just the nicest dude, most positive dude. Love his energy. What a great human being.
Great guy. Great smile, too, by the way.
Oh,
you gotta talk about the smile.
The cheesin'. Is that what they call it, the kids?
No, great cheese.
Great cheese. Great cheese.
Just like Wisconsin.
Leave the tarp on, though.
Yeah, great. Yep, as the kids say.
Coming up this weekend, high school trap shooting teams, they're going to be taking part in the Pheasants Forever tournament at Proctor Gun Club. And it sounds like those students, they're going to be shooting today and tomorrow. So bring your canvas chairs, the sunscreen, the water, snacks, cash for concessions, and your game, especially on Saturday. I believe it starts at 9, goes till about 3. And you can see us, too, trying our best at shooting some trap. It was a ton of fun what we did, too.
I got to tell you, it was pretty incredible that they even allowed me to take part in this because I had never shot a shotgun before.
That's true.
That day.
And of course, Ryan Half picks up a shotgun for the first time. Does a pretty good job. Did you win against me?
No, I almost did.
You
I think
almost
it came down.
did.
We were tied, and it came down to whoever, sudden death.
I've been hunting my whole life, and I missed all sorts of birds left and right.
I played a lot of big buck hunter growing up. So that's it went hand in hand.
It basically is the same thing.
No,
at the end of the day. But yes, those kids. Good luck to all of you out there. It's a precursor to what's going to happen in Alexandria when like 9,000 students come together, and they're going to do a whole. I think it's a week's worth of trap shooting. It's super cool.
That's awesome. I think Two Harbors participating.
Yes.
I believe I saw it could be Duluth East, I believe, also participated. Hermantown. It's cool that the Northland has a lot of those teams.
It's amazing. It is a very fast-growing sport for sure.
You know what's fast-growing is my stomach when I see a bag of Doritos. Doritos has a crunch-tastic way to celebrate the nation's 250th anniversary. The snack brand has a new contest called Build the Bold, where Americans can build U.S. landmarks out of Doritos for a $250,000 prize. Now, contestants have to submit a video explaining how they built the structure and the reason for that selection. And among the approved landmarks eligible for this contest, the U.S. Capitol Building, Niagara Falls, and the Lincoln Memorial. Now, each contestant can submit 3 different entries, with that winner being announced in August.
You know what another iconic kind of symbol of the United States is? I'd say the Duluth Lift Bridge.
Oh!
How about we build some Doritos out of that? That'd be fantastic.
That'd be great.
Would you do it, though?
I'd do it.
Of course you would.
Yeah, I'd submit it and say, accept this.
Right? Yeah, add this to your list.
I've purchased hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of Doritos in my day, so you're gonna get that submission video.
And no regrets, right? You've never had a regret about a Dorito.
Well,
yeah.
When the bag's gone and they go, well, how did that happen?
Yeah, right?
I just had 2 handfuls and now the bag's gone.
You're right?
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
Well, let's turn to some entertainment news. The Chicks, looking back at 20 years of music success with 13 Grammy wins and hits like Not Ready to Make Nice and Wide Open Spaces, both great songs. And to celebrate the anniversary, the country girl group headed on tour. Tickets for their Taking the Long Way 20th anniversary tour going on sale next week. I got to say, Hunter, the Chicks, one of the first bands I remember as a kid that my dad would, play their music.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's one of those like country bands from kind of back in our era that they just hit after hit after hit. So many different songs. What a great group of musicians right there.
Yeah, I think Cody Johnson, who's one of my favorite country stars now, has a very popular cover of "Traveling Soldier," which I believe is a Chick song as well.
Beautiful song. Yes,
Yeah,
fantastic.
so that's getting some new popularity. Video stores seeing a surge in younger customers hunting for some VHS tapes and DVDs out there. Owners say rising streaming costs and shrinking online selections are pushing movie fans back to browsing shelves, chatting with fellow film lovers, and discovering classics the old school way. And I know, hopefully it's in this video here, there's an image from what it appears to be like a Blockbuster back in the day.
Oh,
I think these shelves, they just bring so much nostalgia, like right here, so much nostalgia to me.
I love those days. That was so much fun. But I don't understand. I totally understand like the buying the old records and things like that, because it actually kind of sounds better in my opinion. But watching the old tapes and having to rewind and everything like that, is it purely nostalgia? Because it's not better in any means.
I think what I would say about DVDs though is like the early 2000s DVDs. Do you remember how cool the main menus were on there and how much effort they had to put into that?
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
They would have all those extras all over them too. The bloopers, or they'd have like how they made the scenes and things like that, which I'm sure you could find on YouTube now, but it's all in one kind of little package.
I would assume DVD players out there now are pretty inexpensive. There's probably people getting rid of them for free.
Dude, I bet you could, definitely get one for free, for sure. Probably one with both the DVD and the VHS in the same player. Remember that?
Wow, I think I do.
Oh,
that's
good
way
times.
back.
Yes.
Yeah, we're getting old.
Yep.
But the other feeling too about having to bring the DVD back in time and put it through the window.
Or rewinding the VHS
Yep.
tape before you bring it back. Be kind, rewind.
Be kind.
Crazy
Be kind out there,
times.
folks. You know who else is kind? Daniel Chiarelli coming up after the break, talking about his time here at Northern News Now. We'll see you in a little bit.
Welcome back, folks. It's a sad day when we say goodbye to one of our amazing Northern News Now colleagues. It's also a sad day because I've realized here, Daniel, it's your first time ever being on the show. Not only that, but your ice cream has been featured on the show, and you have not been yet, correct?
My expired ice cream has made its debut, and no better time to make my debut here on Northern Life than with about 3 days left here at Northern News Now. But it's an honor to be here. I love watching the show every day, and always laughing alongside you guys.
You're awesome, man.
To be on the desk with you guys.
So happy to have you. Sounds like your last day is Monday, correct?
Yes, Monday, June 1st, so I'll be on the rest of this week, and then Monday will be my final broadcast. No idea what they have cooking in the background, but I'm sure there'll be lots of tears, lots of laughs, and lots of great memories looking back on my time here.
Amen. I just got to say also, Daniel's a very, very positive fella, very, very positive guy, and just brings so much to the newsroom when it comes to like the attitude and the positivity, and it's going to be a real hole when you leave, my friend. It's super, I'm excited for you, but very sad for us here.
I appreciate that.
I'm very sad about it too because we haven't had a chance to do a whole lot of newscasts together, but every time I pass you in the hallway, it's always a wonderful interaction.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I'm very excited for what's ahead for you.
Appreciate it.
We're just going to blow you up right now.
This is awesome. I should be coming on Northern Life more often. I'm just finding out about
This should have happened years ago.
Yeah.
So while Daniel's here, we thought it'd be kind of fun to do maybe a little exit interview of sorts, a Northern Life exit interview
like
for the
it.
Northern News Now
I
television
like it.
station. So first question we have for Daniel. When you first came to Duluth, you're originally from South Florida, correct?
Born and raised.
What was the cultural shock in between the two?
Yeah, so moved from South Florida, was born and raised there first 25 years of my life, and I'll never forget when I first drove into Duluth, seeing the snowbanks on the corners of the streets. And mind you, this was 2023, so this was the snowiest winter in the history of Duluth.
Yep.
And I remember the snowbanks are pretty much up to the top of my head, and I'm not a tall guy, but 5 feet worth of snow. And I was like, oh, what did I just do? What did I just do? But honestly, you get used to the snow, you learn how to drive, you learn how to dress right, which may have taken me 3 years to learn how to dress right, but
Yep.
you get
I'm still
used
learning.
To, yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah.
You get used to it and you become a winter warrior just like everyone else.
Well, now that you're kind of settled in, I know you're leaving now, but was there a moment where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm a Northlander now. I feel like I belong here.
Yeah, I would say that, like, first couple weeks of the job, we needed someone to run a camera for a live shot for a blizzard or a winter storm out on the canal park right in front of Lake Superior. And I'm standing there with the camera, huge winds, snow, ice, everything you could think of. And I sat there, I'm like, yeah, I'm really doing this. If I can stand out here for 2 hours at 5 in the morning, I think I've gained a little bit of respect from people out there. That Minnesota toughness.
Fully embracing it. Were there any sayings right away that you're like, oh, I love that saying, or maybe ones that just ultimately did not make any sense to you?
Yeah, hearing people say oofda and trying to figure out what
It's an actual thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they weren't just like sneezing or something like that. It was like an actual saying. And
Yeah.
now my friends back home, whenever we're on phone calls and FaceTimes, this is serious. And I'll hit them with like a no. And they're like, oh man, you really sound like you're from
Yes.
Minnesota.
Gotta get out of there, man.
It's contagious. But no, I like the sayings. And my mom's originally from Canada, so a lot of my family kind of has that Canadian accent. And it's always something I found very friendly and inviting. So
Yes.
yeah, that was awesome.
You've been here for such a short amount of time. You started off as a morning producer, and then very quickly you became the sports director. Talk about that. Was that crazy? Just go that quickly to such a leadership role in the newsroom?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, honestly, the opportunities that I've gotten here, both in news and in sports. I love my time on the morning show. I think a lot of people thought I was crazy, moving from South Florida to Duluth, Minnesota in January to work at 3 in the morning, but I really did love it. It kind of established a foundation, getting to meet everyone, kind of getting my foot in the door. And then once I entered the sports world, I mean, I've had the time of my life for 2.5 years. I've learned from a lot of great people, a lot of former sports reporters here, you know, Kevin Moore, Alexis Beckett, Alexis Bass. They've taught me everything I know, and to kind of sit in the chair that they once sat in is something, you know, I really take a lot of pride in.
That's super
A
cool.
lot of great
Yeah.
sports folks have been here at Northern News Now. And was there maybe a big story or a big moment here at the station that sticks out to you, saying like, this was probably the coolest thing I've ever done, besides now being on Northern Life? of course.
Right. Besides Northern Life, number 2 would have to, let's see, I would say covering the high school hockey section tournaments over at Amsoil Arena every year and just seeing that place filled to the brim, a packed barn every night for high school hockey. And
Yeah.
I know it's massive here, but seeing those overtime goals, you know, Hibbing going to the state tournament, then going down to the state tournament and getting to cover them and hear all the stories, that's always been fantastic. But I mean, I have a laundry list of kind of great moments and memories I've had from this job, and it's kind of hard to pick one, but I would stick with that one.
Here's a question for you too: is high school hockey really a thing in Florida? Because they have professional hockey,
Right.
And I would
That's a good
assume
question.
college hockey.
Yeah, they have like
Okay.
club hockey teams, and I would say high school hockey is kind of in its infancy stage, but there are some schools, it's mostly private schools, that have high school hockey, and, you know, I would have loved going when I went to high school for it to be, you know, 1% of what it is here in Minnesota. Obviously, the weather's a little bit different. People have warmer things to do. But yeah, it's growing down there, and that's kind of why I moved up here, is you got to move to the state of hockey if you want to be in the belly of the beast and
Amen.
see all these great teams, great programs, and kind of the great culture that brings all these communities together.
Literally just throwing yourself in there
Oh,
and
yeah.
getting the experience on the way, and it's pretty amazing there. Looking back at old videos too, and really quickly before we go to break, you also had a big change in your appearance.
Yeah.
Right? Because you used to have the mullet and the flow and everything, and then one day you just
Oh my
shaved it all
gosh.
off.
Yeah, nobody look at my like original headshot at
Oh,
the
come on, it's
station.
great. It's
I got the
awesome.
beard and the super long hair. Then I went like professional mullet. Now I've gone to like adult haircut.
That looks
Love
good.
it. Thank you.
That looks
Every
Appreciate it,
stage
guys.
is awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, hey, we have Daniel Chiarelli. He's going to be joining us after the break here, talk with our wonderful sports director. Stick around. We're on Northern Life, rocking and rolling on this Friday. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back, everybody. Still joined by Sports Director Daniel Chiarelli as we celebrate your final days here at Northern News Now. And we got to talk about one of the early days here at Northern News Now. I love finding these old videos on YouTube. Daniel Chiarelli, a political expert, I believe, here at Northern News Now, with Dan and Laura covering some Northland politics back in the day. How about that video?
Oh man, yeah, you got to be a team player when they ask. When Dan Wolf asks you to do something, it's hard to say no. And,
Amen.
he wanted kind of that. I forget his first name, but the Kornacki guy.
Steve Kornacki.
Steve Kornacki.
Yeah, I can see
on,
that, the big board.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
khaki pants was a nice touch as well.
Should have rolled up the
And-
sleeves a little
Exactly.
bit. Yeah.
Look at me pointing with the paper, all professional.
Wow.
There's that mullet you were talking about, Hunter, still
Right?
flowing with the wind
Oh.
in the
Dude,
studio.
you
but-
don't go from morning producer to sports director
Yeah.
by just not doing stuff like that, you know?
You got to dive in.
Yes, exactly.
man.
How about like wildest thing that's happened to you on air? Craziest thing, or maybe nicest thing? Something that maybe you remember the most, or at least one of the things.
Oh man, first thing that the first thing that comes to mind is last July 4th. I did a live shot at the Duluth Huskies games, which are unbelievable, and it was the same day as the hot dog eating contest.
Oh, no.
And so I thought, hey, it'd be a good idea at the end of my live shot just to like take a couple bites of the hot dog. And I don't remember who was directing that day, but they kept that shot of me eating that hot dog for at least a minute. I ate the entire hot dog.
Oh, geez.
And then I got back to the station and we laughed for hours
Oh,
and
my
hours
gosh.
and hours. I don't know why that's the first thing that comes to my mind. I'm sure there have been other, less unique things that have happened
Yes.
that I've enjoyed, but the hot dog comes to mind.
Another one that was it also hot dog related? Didn't you race a hot dog or
Yes.
something like that on the air?
Of
I
course.
believe? Yes.
Also at a Huskies game,
Yes.
I raced the Harley the Husky, the mascot,
Nice.
at Wade Stadium, and may have lost to like a 12-year-old kid. But
Oh.
we don't need to talk about that. I let the kid win,
Yeah.
so he can have that glory. I'm just a guy on TV. I
Sure.
don't need to win anything.
I'll try to find that video for our viewers
Awesome.
at a later date. Speaking of food, though, is there a Northland food or maybe a traditional food up here that you're going to miss the most?
I have had tater tot hot dish, so I will miss that the most.
Yep.
Hopefully can get a recipe to take with me to wherever my next destination is. But I've really enjoyed all the food and drink that I've had here in Duluth in the Twin Ports, and yeah.
That's awesome. How about anybody coming in? I know Yasmin is starting here officially. She's done a couple weekends now.
We got Blake as well.
Got
Yeah.
Blake as well, yep. How about any advice to the future sports people that are coming in and anybody along those lines that are kind of going to be in your shoes coming up here pretty soon?
Yeah, I would say the most important thing is local sports. That's kind of why we exist as a sports department here as a local TV station. Nowadays, anyone can get scores, highlights from the professional leagues on their phone, social media. It's very accessible. But you can't get the ESCO softball score on your phone. So that's why we work so hard to get people at home the highlights, the scores, and the feature stories about all these great athletes. So my advice to those two, and really anyone looking to work in the sports industry, is kind of connect with people and understand, local sports brings communities together. We live in such a divisive time nowadays where everyone's fighting and finding reasons to disagree, whereas I feel like sports brings everyone together for 2-3 hours. Everyone's rooting for a common goal, and that's what I love about sports, and hopefully they can push that forward to the audience at home.
That was the best
Beautiful.
answer ever. That was wonderful.
And quickly as well, we'll hear from you coming up on Monday night, but any final words you have for the viewers out there who've tuned in and watched your Chiarelli broadcast?
Yeah, I am just so filled with gratitude and thanks for everyone who's ever tuned in, anyone who's ever, said hi to me on the sideline, out in the community. Those are the people I work really hard for, and so many relationships I've built, players, coaches, teams, and fans, and honestly just everyday people out in the community. Thank you so much. This has been a dream come true, and it's honestly an honor to work alongside you guys and all the great people here at Northern News Now.
Hey, it's been a pleasure working with you.
You're amazing,
Be sure to
man.
catch
Thank you,
Daniel
guys.
Chiarelli Monday night at 10.
Hey, listen, when we're done here, head over to northernnewsnow.com. Scroll down under the Northern Life tab on our latest video on Northern Life Online videos here today. We're going to be talking about the states who love cheese the most, and the answers might actually surprise you there, Ryan.
They may be a little surprising, so as Hunter said, head to northernnewsnow.com, click the Northern Life tab, scroll down.
I already looked ahead and I see that I'm starting the show again also, so I'm going to do my best not to say that we're online. So that's the goal
you're-
today.
Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great. Every time you're in the prompter, I appreciate you reading that, okay?
Anytime. That's what I do.
You're doing great. Coming up next week, we'll be back with another Blindfold this Tuesday. We're up in Two Harbors, Minnesota, checking out a vehicle that is out of this world. We'll also hear how a local company teaming up with a popular RV supplier in this incredible vehicle as well. And Hunter, before the weekend, what are your weekend plans?
Oh my gosh, it's been a while since we've had a couple of gigs, so we're going to be going to Wisconsin. We're going to be doing a couple gigs, one at Docks in Bayfield, and
Nice.
and one at or Hoops in Bayfield, I should say,
Yeah,
and
Hoops.
one at the old Barnes Trading Post.
Oh, that'll be
Yeah,
fun.
What about you?
Mary's got a CrossFit competition, so I'll be going down and we'll be partying.
Oh!
I won't be doing any lifting. Mary will be doing the lifting.
It's amazing what she can do.
Yeah, it's better to be a viewer than a
Yes!
competitor for me, at least.
Actually
Yeah,
doing it.
yeah.
It's insane. Hey, have a great weekend, everybody. We love you.
Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Find some time to throw a line, or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.